Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn the electromagnetic field theory subject topic, that is on the electromagnetic laws. Here there are various laws are there in the electromagnetic, but today we will focus on one of the law. On that basis, how many parameters will affect, that we will see today. There are many laws in the electromagnetic, okay, but here we will concentrate only the one law, okay, by which, and we will see how many parameters which are related to that particular law only, and this law is very important as a subject point of view, okay. So just all of you pay attention. Now I am going to explain here what I mentioned here, that is electromagnetic laws. I told many laws are there, but we are focusing only the one law today, and on that basis the few parameters are related. All of you pay attention. What I mentioned here, that is nothing but my Coulomb's law, that is also known as the electrostatic law, laws of Coulomb's, or you may say Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, or your Faraday's law, okay, your electrostatic law, or you may say that is a Coulomb's law. That is related to totally, that is nothing but your the force F, okay. How we can learn this force? We know very well, while you are going to learn this Coulomb's law, or the what we can say electrostatic law, that is the charges at rest position, what will be the effect of the force on that particular charge, okay. So what we are doing, I am taking an example. I am having the two charges. We know very well, the charge may be the positive, the charge may be the negative. If the charge is positive and the charge may be the negative, we know very well, according to the what you can say electrostatic or the Coulomb's law, the Faraday's law, the two charges, positive and negative, if both charges are the same, there will be the repulsion. The charges will be repelled to each other. If both are in the same, if positive definitely they will repel to each other. If negative two charges, then definitely they will repel to each other. But one charge is positive and the other charge is negative, definitely there will be the attraction between the charges, or maybe first is the negative, second is the positive, then also there will be the attraction between the charges. And at that particular moment, when the charges are attract to each other and some force is applied on that particular charges, that time how you can calculate that force which is reflected, which is focused on the number of charges, okay, which is placed in the free space, that we need to calculate here the force, and how that force will be affected on the charges, and how we can get the other parameters which I mentioned here. So here the force of attraction is going on between the charges. So here I have taken the example, I am having the two charges. One charge name is the Q1, other charge name is the Q2, and the force of attraction is going on. How? In a particular point, that is at the origin, if I am applying the force, I am applying the force to this charge, I am applying the force to this charge. So here the distance between this one, if my Q1 is there, definitely this will be my R1. Either you may write in the capital or you may write in the small letter, doesn't matter. And if this is the charge 2, definitely this distance will be my R2. The resultant which is coming between these two, because here is my origin, I am applying the force here, okay, to this particular charge. I am applying the force here to this particular charge, okay. The distance here will be related to the charge 1, that's what R1, related to the Q2, that's what R2, but resultant will be R12. This is nothing but the distance between the two charges, and automatically this force and this force will come towards the resultant, that is nothing but my F. In many of the textbook, the force is reflected, that is a 1 and 2 here, okay. So in many of the textbook they refer as a F1 and F2, but I am not going to write here whether it's a 1 or the 2. Directly I am mentioning here, this is my resultant force, okay. So in short, so what we can say by the Coulomb's law, that my F force is directly proportional to the charges. How many charges you are having here right now? I am having right now 2 charges. If many more, yes, that are directly proportional to the force. If you are applying the force, that is coming directly to the charges. Just take the example, daily routine examples are there. Just take at a morning, you are doing the what we can say, you are cleaning your what we can say the teeth with the help of the brush. What you are doing exactly to the brush? Yes, this is the brush, and you are applying the force to the brush, and you are doing like this. So in short, that force you are applying to that brush is directly proportional. So here that force is applying, which is directly proportional to the two charges, 1 and the 2, and inversely proportional to the distance between the charges. How many distance? This is one distance, this is other distance, resultant will be the square of this one. Okay, one is this one, second is this one, and the resultant will be this. That's what I am taking as the square term. But if you want to avoid this constant proportionality, so K will be the constant term, whereas the Q1 and Q2 are the two charges, and this distance will be the as it is. How we can find this K? K is the constant proportionality that you can calculate with the help of, you can say K is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, where epsilon 0 is nothing but the permittivity, and that value is the constant in the free space, that is nothing but you may say 8.854 10 raised to the power minus 12 flame per meter. Okay, if you are going to substitute this K value in this force, what you will get finally? You will get as F is equals to Q1 Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 this d square. Get it? But yes, finally this is nothing but the Coulomb's law, or you may say the force I have calculated by referring the charges. But if you want to find it on the particular direction at that time, here you need to take, that is nothing but my A, and this A may be the distances, the 1, 2, whatever. So we will not focusing here right now. While you are going to simplify the numerical, at that time it's must to find out the direction. So in short, the F can be you are getting finally with the help of this Coulomb's law. This is the first and the second, that is F is directly proportional to the charges, F is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. If you add these two, this one and this one, you are getting finally that by avoiding this constant proportionality, K into Q1 Q2 divided by d square, whereas K value will be like this if you are going to substitute here 1, 2, and in this way you can calculate that force. Okay, and we know very well, in short, this force is related to the charges. So we should aware from the charges, how many charges are there, how that charges are placed, how we can calculate that charges depending upon the way of the spreading of the charges. We need to calculate the force. The force may be the 1, 2, 3, 4 depending upon the charges how you are going to apply. Now pay attention in the second. This is the first part. Now come toward the second. What I mentioned here, the charge distribution. Yes, the charge distribution is nothing but in the free space the charge are spreaded, the charges are distributed. How we can identify? By this name you need to identify, and depending upon the application also in the many way you have seen how the charges are placed and the spread. So what are the types of the charges, charge distribution? First I mentioned here the point charge, that is nothing but the what we can say the simple Q, point dot is nothing but the Q. Okay. Second is the line charge distribution, that is related to your L. Third is surface charge distribution, that is nothing but the S. Fourth is the volume charge distribution, that is nothing but the V. Okay, why I am saying V? V is the volume, S is the surface area, and the line is the L, and the point will be the dot, that is Q. And how they are placed? So dot is nothing but the Q. Q may be the positive charge, may be the negative charge, and that is denoted by the Q and the measured in coulombs. Whereas second, the line charge distribution. Particular line may be anything, and the charges may be anything, maybe the positive or maybe the negative, anything. Okay, on a particular line there will be the charges will be placed, maybe the positive, maybe the negative, likewise. Okay, and you need to calculate the charges which you are going to calculate in the line form is nothing but your line charge density. That is nothing but this royal is nothing but line charge density, that is denoted by royal and measured in coulombs per meter. Okay, that is the length. That's why. If the charges are spread, distributed on a sheet, on a plane, at the time, this portion is nothing but rho's, that is nothing but surface charge density denoted by rho's and measured in coulomb per meter square. Whereas if your charges are placed in the vacuum, okay, spherical things, that time you may say volume charge density denoted by rho v and measured in coulomb per meter cube. So in this way my charge will be distributed in the point form, in the line form, in the surface form and in the volume, and similarly the way of a calculation will be the Q will be the Royal, will be the Roes, and will be the Rovi. And the unit will be like this: coulombs, coulombs per meter square, and coulombs per meter cube. Now come to the point. How you can calculate this Royal? That is a line charge distribution. This line charge distribution is nothing but which is related to, okay, directly proportional to the charge and inversely proportional to the length. Obviously, my dear students, I am focusing, if this is the line, so definitely I am focusing on the charges. That's what I am saying here. The charge here may be the positive or maybe the negative. And the line inversely proportional to this length, that is nothing but my DL. If I am interested to calculate this DQ, so what will happen? DQ will be as it is, and this Royal and the DL will become at the one side. So that's why DQ will be equals to Royal dot of DL. Royal is a line charge density, DL is a differential length. So therefore, after removing this differentiation and you want the integration, that time this Q will be equals to integral of Royal dot of DL, or you may say integral of that DQ. How I am taking? This is the differential form. Now I want in the integral form. So Q will be equals to integral of a DQ. So what is my DQ? DQ will be the Royal dot of DL. So in many of the cases, why we are doing all this thing? Just to calculate the numerical, to reduce the value, to simplify the numerical. That's what we are doing. Now come to the second point. Because in the first case, charge doesn't matter, but in all the cases we need to calculate. That's what. This is related to this one, rho is related to this one, and the rho V is related to this one. The point doesn't matter, maybe the positive or negative charge. Come to the second point, that is nothing but the surface charge density, that is the rho S. Rho S will be equals to, again, the surface is directly proportional to the charge, but inversely proportional to the surface area. How I am saying here, this part, okay, this part and this part. Surface two sides, this side or you may say this vertical or this horizontal. This one or this one, by adding these two or these two. So twice you are getting, okay. So rho S is equals to dq by ds. So rho S dot of ds. So if you don't want in the differential form and want in the integral, so definitely this dq will be the q, integral of dq. So dq will be my rho S dot of ds. That's for column meter square. By the way, we are saying one part is the meter, the other part is meter. So meter square will be there. And the last, that is nothing but the volume charge density, denoted by the rho V, and directly proportional to charge, inversely proportional to here the dV, that is nothing but the differential volume. Okay, dV is nothing but differential volume, differential length, differential surface area, and the differential volume dV. And if you want dq here, so these two will be multiplied, same thing, and dq, and this is in the differential form. Now I am writing in the integral, so q will be equals to integral of this part. Okay, will be equals to now as it is. In this way, we can calculate the rho L, we can calculate the rho S, and we can calculate the rho V. While you are going to measure this one, the unit will be coulombs per meter. While you are going to measure this one, coulombs per meter square. While you are going to measure this one, coulombs per meter cube. So in this way, if you are having the charge, if you are having the length, you can calculate this one. If you are having the charge, you are having the surface area, you can calculate the density, surface density. If you are having the charge and the volume, you can calculate the volume charge density. Either vice versa or anything. If any two parameters are known, one unknown, you may calculate it. So this was the third part. Now come to the fourth. Okay, see here how the force is reflected, how the loss is applicable while the force is exerted on the charges. We have calculated in this way. That force is related to the charges. That's what we have studied, the charges. These charges are related to the distribution. That's what we have studied, the charge distribution in the densities form. Now come to the point, that is nothing but the force. If point is there, definitely, if I am saying this point is there, so this particular point, this is the charge, definitely the force, if this is the charge, so on this particular thing, maybe the positive or negative, the force is exerted on this one. If force is exerted, definitely there will be, what we can say, the intensity will become in the picture. The best example is nothing but even the lamp or the bulb. If you are turning, switching on, definitely the bulb will be, you will be able to observe the intensity of your light. Okay, how you are getting the intensity on the particular lamp, you are having the various charges in that lamp. Positive, negative charges are there, and the reflection will be there. That reflection is nothing but the electric field intensity, which is denoted by E. Okay, this charge, positive, negative, the force will be exerted F, but creating various intensities, illuminations or intensities. So this E will be equals to, that is nothing but the force and divided by the charges. So this intensity related to the charge, this intensity related to the length, intensity related to the surface, as well as intensity is related to the volume. Obviously, if the shape is changed, intensity will be the change, because the charge, the force will be affected on the charge. Definitely intensity will be different, and you will be get according to the suppression, the spreading or the distribution of charges. You may calculate the electric field intensity. So E with Q, E with L, line charge, and E with the surface, E with the volume. So E is nothing but the force divided by the charge. If you add force, what is my force? Q1, Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 d square. One charge will cut out. This is denominator and here the 2 are in the numerator. So one charge will be cut out. You will get as Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 d square. Now come to the point, if you are calculating that differential electric field intensity. Electric field intensity is denoted by E and it's measured in volt per meter. Electric field intensity E, okay, denoted by E and measured in volt per meter. Okay, now come to the point. If you are interested to find out the differential electric field intensity, differential electric field intensity with respect to the charges, so that will be dq. How you got this dq? Because F is nothing but the two charges, denominator is q, q will be cancelled out. In this way you will get 4 pi epsilon 0 d square. Here the particular what we can say unit vector, because I am interested in which particular direction, because here whether I am interested in this side, whether I am interested in this side, in which direction I am interested, that's what I have mentioned here. That is nothing but my unit vector. Okay, I am focusing on the direction. So here if you want to avoid, cancel this differential electric field intensity dE, so that will become in the E, and you may avoid this one and you may take the integral part also. So E is equals to dd, we are removing it, directly we are taking the charge and divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 d square into A12. Likewise dE, this is related to the charge, this is related to length, this one is related to the surface area, this one is related to the volume. So here come to the point, that is dE will be Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 d square. Okay, fine. What is my Q? dQ with respect to the line. See here, my dQ will be rho L into dl. dQ rho L into dl. So here dE is nothing but integral of rho L dot of dl divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 d square. A12 will be as it is. After integrating everything, that will be multiplied by derivative and all, we are getting instead of the 4 2, just because after the derivation of that particular electric field intensity with respect to the what we can say the line charge, you will get as rho L will be as it is. Here 2 pi epsilon 0 d, not a d square, A12. In the third case, that is nothing but differential electric field intensity in the surface area. Same dq. What is my dq in the surface area? dq will be rho s dot of ds. Rho s dot of ds. Okay. So here, so in the dE, integral of rho s dot ds divided by so and so. But if you are going to calculate the E will be equals to, this integral form will remove rho s dot of ds 4 pi epsilon 0 d square. In after derivation in normal to the plane, if my surface area is normal to the plane, at the time all this term will be cancelled out. While you are going to derive that expression, you will get finally electric field intensity will be equals to rho s divided by 2 epsilon 0 an. An is nothing but normal to the plane. And the last, that is nothing but the, we are interested, the electric field intensity is focusing on the volume charge density. So dq will be the rho v dv divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 d square. That will be as it is. Now the last part is remain. I mentioned here A12. How I got this A12? Just now, see, 1 2 is nothing but that part 1 and part 2. While you are adding, that will be 1 2. So I mentioned here how I got this d. D is nothing but my distance. That will be focusing on the r. R in the many of the cases that that is you may say considering as a distance, considering as the length. Okay, so d is equals to r into 1 2. 1 2 means for two charges, 1 and the 2. So if you want to calculate the unit vector A12, that will be equals to, this is the vector form, this is the magnitude. So R12, first point and second point, mod of R12. See here, while you are going to calculate this R12, already we have solved such type of numerical in the vector analysis. Okay, the distance. So R12 will be equals to second term minus of first term, the destination minus of source. So here, if my R2 is nothing but the x, y, z. So definitely if 2 is there, then x2, y2, z2, and for the r1, x1, y1, z1, there will be the subtraction between these two brackets. Whatever you will get, if that is in the positive sign, so first term into the ax plus second term into the ay and third term into the az. In this way we can calculate the first term square, second term square and the third term square in the root while you are going to calculate the mod term. Okay, so here I written here, that is the mod of r12 is nothing but root of first term, second term and the third term square. In this way you can calculate the distance and you can substitute in the numerical and you can simplify the numerical or the problem which are related to the force. You may find the force F1, F2 likewise. Okay, you may find the electric field intensity E. You may find the rho L, the rho S and the rho V. In all cases, the intention is nothing but you should understand first how you can calculate that force. That force is measured in the newtons. Okay. Newton per coulomb or the newtons. Okay, so in this way you can calculate all these terms which is related to electromagnetic laws, and we have studied today, that is a Coulomb's law or electrostatic laws, or you can say Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, Faraday's laws. Okay, so in this way we have calculated all these things. In the next lecture we will continue the numerical which are related to this Coulomb's law or Faraday's law. Till that, I'm going to stop here. Thank you.